Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss Angelita.
Welcome to our mathematics class. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Igusti Agung Ayurai Angelita Utami. You can call me Miss Angelita. I will be your teacher for this class. Now, since today is our first day, I would like to know you too. Let's start with you. What is your name?
My name is Sidiwokto Agustia Pramana Putra. You can call me Agustia, and I am the leader class here. How are you today, Miss?
I'm very well, thank you. Before we start our lesson today, it is better for us to pray first so that everything runs smoothly. Agustia, could you please lead the prayer today?
Yes, Miss. Friends, before we study, let's pray together. Pray begin. Pray finish.
Thank you, Agustia. Alright, everyone. Today we are going to learn about vector. A vector is an important topic in mathematics and it has many applications in everyday life and other fields of study. Before we begin today's lesson, let me explain our learning objective. As you can see on the slide, we have three learning objectives for today. First, you are expected to be able to explain the definition of a vector. Second, you should be able to identify the types of vector. Third, you will be able to apply vector operation. I hope that by the end of today's lesson, all of you can achieve this learning objective. Let's learn together. Now, let's start with our first material, definition of a vector. What is a vector? In simple terms, a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. Magnitude means the size or the value, and direction tells us where it goes. Please look at the figure on the slide. A vector is represented by an arrow. Look at the airplane. It moves from point A to point B. The arrow shows its path and direction. For the notation, we can write it as vector AB with a small arrow on top of the letters. And if we want to write the vector magnitude, which means the length or distance of the vector, we use vertical bars like this. This is the magnitude of vector AB. Now, let's move on to our second objective, vector types. As you can see on the screen, there are three types of vector we will discuss today. First, we have a negative or opposite vector. This is a vector that has the same magnitude or length, but it goes in the opposite direction. Look at the row. If vector AB goes up to the right, then negative vector AB goes down to the left. Second, there is a zero vector. A zero vector is a vector with zero length and it has no specific direction. Graphically, we just represent it with a single point. And third, we have an equivalent vector. A vector is equivalent to another vector if they have the exact same magnitude and the same direction. Look at vector AB, vector CD, and vector EF on the slide. They look identical in length and direction. Now, to check your understanding about vector, let's look at this slide. Here, we have a fun activity. you need to match the opposite vector and the equivalent vector from the grid on the right. For example, look at number 1. The opposite vector are vector A and D, and also vector B and H. They have the same length but go in opposite direction. Meanwhile, for number 2, the equivalent vector are B and G because they have both the same length and the same direction. Do you get the point, Agustia?
Yes, Miss Angelita, I understand. Opposite vector have different direction, but equivalent vector must have the exact same direction and size.
Perfect, Agustia. Your answer is correct. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Today, we are going to learn about vector in coordinate system. Please look at vector AB on the coordinate grid. To find its component, we simply observe its movement. Since it moves 8 units to the left and 6 units down from point A to point B, both components are negative. We can write these vector components in two ways. First, in column form, which is called a column vector. The column vector negative 8, negative 6. Second, in row form, which is called a row vector. The row vector negative 8, negative 6. These two forms represent the same vector. Now, how do we find the vector magnitude or the length of the vector? We use the Pythagorean theorem. As shown on the slide, the magnitude of vector 8 to b equals the square root of negative 8 square plus negative 6 square, which equals the square root of 64 plus 36, which equals the square root of 100, and finally equals 10. So, the magnitude of vector AB is 10. Now, let's move on to the next slide to discuss the vector addition operation. There are two ways to add vector, geometrically and by component. First, look at the geometrically section on the left. We add vector v and vector w by connecting them. If you follow the arrow, vector v goes down and to the right, and then vector w goes straight to the left. The result is the new vector v plus vector w, which is the brown arrow pointing straight down. Second, we can calculate it by component on the right side. Given vector v equals the column vector 4, negative 3, and vector w equals the column vector negative 4, 0. To find vector v plus vector w, we simply add the top numbers together and the bottom numbers together. So, 4 plus negative 4 equals 0, and negative 3 plus 0 equals negative 3. The final result is the column vector 0, negative 3. Let's look at the next slide to discuss the vector subtraction operation. Just like addition, we can solve this in two ways, by component and geometrically. First, let's look at the by component section. We have vector v equals the column vector 4, negative 3, and vector a equals the column vector 2, 2. To find vector v minus vector a, we subtract the top components and the bottom components separately. So, 4 minus 2 equals 2, and negative 3 minus 2 equals negative 5. The final result is the column vector 2, negative 5. Second, how do we see this geometrically? Subtraction is actually the same as adding a negative vector. So, vector v minus vector a can be written as vector v plus negative vector a. Look at the graph. Vector a goes up and to the right, so is opposite. Negative vector a goes down and to the left. When we connect vector v with negative vector a, we get the brown arrow pointing down and to the right. It moves 2 units to the right and 5 units down, which makes our component result is the column vector 2, negative 5. Let's continue to the next slide. Our topic now is the vector scalar multiplication operation. This operation means we multiply a vector by a real number, which we call a scalar. First, look at the geometrically section on the left. We have vector u that's moved 3 steps to the left and 1 step up. If we multiply this vector by 2, we get a new vector, 2 times vector u. Geometrically, we simply place two copies of vector u together in the same direction. As you can see, the bronze arrow representing 2 times vector u is twice as long as the original vector u. Second, let's look at how we calculate it by components on the right side. Given vector u equals the column vector negative 3, 1, to find times to find 2 times vector u, we simply multiply both components by the scalar 2. So, 2 times negative 3 equals negative 6, and 2 times 1 equals 2. The final result is the column vector negative 6, 2. Great job, Agustia! Since you have understood all the explanation about vector operation, now let's look at the next slide. It's quiz time. This quiz will help us check how well you remember today's lesson. Don't worry, just do your best. Are you ready to take the quiz?
Yes, Miss Angelita.
Alright, Agustia, please look at the next slide. As you can see from the title question, this is the quiz question that you need to answer to test your understanding of today's material. Please read the instruction careful and let's try to solve the vector operation together.
All right, Miss Angelita, I have tried my best to calculate all three questions based on their components. For number one, vector u plus w is column vector 0, negative 2. For number two, the correct answer is column vector negative 6, 0. And for number three, the result is negative 19, negative 4.
Thank you, Agustia. Now, let's look at the next slide and compare your answer with the final solution shown on the screen. Let's check them one by one. For number 1, the correct answer is the column vector 0, negative 2. For number 2, the correct answer is the column vector negative 6, 0. And for number 3, the correct answer is the column vector negative 19, negative 4. So, your answer is correct, Agustia. Excellent. Moving on to the next slide. Now we have a contextual problem to solve. This means we are going to apply what we learn about vector to a real world situation. Let's read the problem together. The problem says a ship is moving eastward at a speed of 60 km per hour. At the same time, an ocean current is moving northward at a speed of 30 km per hour. Determine the ship total speed and position. Look at the compass rose on the slide, Agustia. Eastward means the ship move to the right and northward means it's move straight up. So we can represent the ship speed and the ocean current as two vectors that form a right angle. To find the ship total speed and position, we need to calculate the resultant vector. Now, let's look at the solution for our ship problems. First, under vector operation, we write the vector based on their movement. Since the ship moves 60 km per hour to the east, its vector is vector v equals column vector 60, 0. The ocean currents move 30 kilometers per hour to the north, so its vector is vector W equals column vector 0, 30. By adding these two vectors together, we get the resultant vector. Vector V plus vector W equals column vector 60, 30. You can see this geometrically on the grid. The brown arrow represents the resultant paths of the ship. Next, to find the vector magnitude or the ship's total speed, we use the Pythagorean theorem. The magnitude of vector v plus vector w equals the square root of 60 square plus 30 square. The square root of 3600 plus 900. The square root of 4500. Approximately 67.08. Therefore, the estimate speed of the ship is approximately 67.08 km per hour. To wrap up our lesson today, Agustia, let's look at the summary of vector slide. First, remember that a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. We can represent vector using a row and write them in two forms, row vector and column vector. We can also calculate the magnitude of a vector using its components. On the right side of the slide, you can see the main type of vector that we have learned, such as negative or opposite vector, zero vector, and equivalent vector. We also learned the basic vector operation, including vector addition, vector subtraction, and vector scalar multiplication. Finally, as we saw in our contextual problem, vector can help us solve real-life situations, such as determining the speed and direction of a moving ship. I hope today's lesson has helped you understand vector better. Excellent work today, everyone. You have learned about vector, their types, vector operation, and how vector can be used to solve real-life problems. I hope today's lesson helped you understand vector better. Before we end our lesson, does anyone have any question?
No, Miss Angelita, everything is clear. Thank you for today's lesson.
You're welcome, Agustia. Thank you, everyone, for your participation today. Now, before we finish our class, I would like to ask the class leader to lead us in prayer.
Yes, Miss Angelita. Attention, everyone. Before we end our class, let's pray together. Pray begin. Pray finish.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Stay healthy. Keep learning and see you in our next lesson. Bye bye.